The new police powers will clamp down on groups like Extinction Rebellion and Insulate Britain, who brought parts of the UK to a standstill with disruptive protests. A new offence of locking on will be created to stop activists who chain or glue themselves to buildings and roads. Question is, are these new laws tough enough? James?
Well, there's a bit of me that says, no, they're not tough enough, and I really wish that they were tougher because, look, I'm all for legitimate protest, and I do understand the arguments coming from the environmentalists who will say, this is so important that we don't really care about the laws and the rules of this land, and therefore we're going to disrupt until you all listen to us, and by the way, until you do everything that we say. What I have a problem with, though, is that even though we're devoting time to this, I don't think it's going to make a difference. It's not going to act as a deterrent because those activists still have the same view that what they're doing is their life's work, combined with the fact that we've got a government who seem to think that this is really important when they've got all the laws that they need in place. Frankly, they should be focusing on the cost of living crisis. They should be focusing on building and developing the economy. They should be sorting out post-Brexit. They should be building and developing and stop talking about levelling up, explain what it is and actually do something. For goodness sake, do things. This is just an utter distraction. Yes, I want to see these people sorted out, but I think the laws are in place to deal with it. Just get on with it.
Aisha, do they know what levelling up means? Does anybody know what it means? I can't define it. Depends who you ask.
Somebody said it's like a state of mind, like a Zen, like Buddhist state of mind sort of thing. And there's so little on the levelling up agenda. When you really dig into the details, the main thing is going to be that people can have a greater say over what their street is called. Who cares about that? That's nothing to do with levelling up.
Where I live, rurally, we do like to name a name.
What, do you have some embarrassing names at the moment?
There are a lot of bottoms.
I do. Crinkly bottoms, sort of thing.
I would have thought you
do
enjoyed
agree
all
with
that.
a lot of what James said. I also do think, the thing about the protests is I do get they're very, very annoying for people. Climate change is a very, very serious thing. I actually think they lose support when they go out and do a lot of this stuff. But I think we've got to be careful. We are a civilised Western democracy. What makes me uneasy is we're already cracking down through the police bill on a lot of peaceful protests. We come from a country with a peaceful tradition of like protest. And protest is designed to cause a bit of annoyance. That's the whole point of it, like the suffragettes. I just worry. I don't want us to go down like a Russian...
Yeah.
You know, when you see what's happening...
I don't think we're going to do that.
But I know, but this can be a slippery... My solution is let people have one protest a year. They can have one, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think Sharon might have something to say about this, because I think surely the point is, Sharon, these are all the same people doing it every single week, week in, week out, only during the school holidays, mind you, and they do create havoc. There must be a way of dealing with them, surely.
Listen, I think everybody has the right to protest, but the thing is, when you are disrupting motorways and gluing yourself to doors of buildings, sorry, I know it brings attention in the press to your cause and all of that, but think about everybody else.
Yeah, I think that's the point, isn't it, Nicola? I mean, I know you like to defend these lefties, but I mean, the point is they keep inventing themselves as the different group. You know, first it was Extinction Rebellion, then it was Insulate Britain, then it was Just Stop Oil. I mean, what's it going to be next? Just Stop talkTV.
I don't know if they are a different group, because this idea of locking on has been going around for, well, at least 100 years, because this is what the suffragettes did, didn't they? They locked themselves to the railings outside Downing Street.
They didn't have any glue, though.
No glue. It probably hadn't been invented quite in the same way yet. But, you know, there's so many laws that we have nowadays. There's so many protests that we're grateful for. You know, our modern day society say, well, we think of these people as heroes, and actually maybe in 50 years or 100 years time,
I'm not buying that.
And
we'll look back.
I really don't believe that, and I will never forget.
Years ago. It may have worked years ago for the suffragettes, but in the world we live in today, sorry, it disrupts too much.
I completely understand that, but you have to cause some kind of disruption, because otherwise you're going to a picnic rather than a protest.
But who can forget that image of that woman who was trying to drive to hospital to see her dying mother, and the road was blocked? I mean, I was absolutely incensed.
Yeah, it was awful.
And, you know, there's more examples than that, and I'm afraid, like...
But these professional protesters, though, I think this is the problem about it, is that they think that they're so right, and they think that, you know, the message coming through from documentaries, people see the facts. That's what we should be looking at. We have information, we know, and we can make a judgment. What we really need to do is, if you feel that it's that important, stand for election, get elected, change the law.
Well, that's
Stop disrupting.
That is very, very difficult to do under our first past the post system. And actually, the Greens did do very well. In fact, they were sort of one of the big winners of the night. I think the difficulty is, by definition, protest is never going to be well behaved. If protest is well behaved, it doesn't make any impact. And part of the issue is, the truth is we don't really talk about these issues unless people like them kick off. Like, climate change was denied and derided.
We never stop talking about climate change. We talk about it all the time.
We talk more about woke issues and transgender issues
than we
do on
I don't think so.
climate
But
change.
so many people talk about
do.
climate change, and they talk about it from the point of view that they've just got off their private jet. And I think people are sick and tired of the hypocrisy of those people who are protesting using all the things that they keep talking about.
Most of the people that gluing themselves have got a private jet.
Yeah.
No.